Hello guys, I'm going to have a clear up in here honestly later on today, but I've been messing around making some camera accessories for those that are interested in photography, and I've made myself up a camera slide. We're doing sort of pan work and giving depth to things. Sure you know what I'm on about. Anyways, loads and loads and loads of these on YouTube, so I won't join the ranks of those, just tell you how I went about it. There's some very good ones and there's some not so wonderful. There was one guy, I gave him a thumbs up and complimented him on his superb build, but oh my god, it was way OTT. He'd used a computer to design, a CAD program to design the component parts, and then he'd used his 3D printer to print out the parts. He'd used electric speed controls, timer, goodness, and his results, they were good. But I found another guy who used a couple of pieces of wood, made it in 10 minutes, cost him virtually nothing, and not only did he do as good, he did considerably better because he wasn't tied to any rail or wheels or any of that sort of thing. So I've made the same thing here, and I use the same old ethos that I use, I'm trying to think of the word, that I usually use. Use what you got. You can go out and buy it if you want. So if you want to make this up, it will cost you something like about £3 or £4 total. Just scrounging bits and pieces and what you've got. If you want to build a deluxe model, it's going to cost you up to £5. Oh dear. So I'll leave that to you money guys out there. Anyway, this is the little slide I've made up here. It's PVC trunking. I'll give you a link at the end. I won't do plans or anything. I don't work the plans, you should know that. If you need plans, you can't make it. Use what you've got. I've used this plastic trunking, and I've used a small piece that I've cut off, the same stuff, cut another bit inside. So we've got a groove here, and that just simply sits on there, plastic on plastic. There's no wheels, don't need wheels, and the thing is you can pick it up and go with it. So it's much more versatile. So it'll take a heavy camera, by the way. I haven't got my pro camera on here, well I don't use it for YouTube. But it'll take a heavy camera, and I've used a little motor to pull the thing along at a steady pace. I got one of those, well, I don't know where it comes out of. It's a little geared motor, look, with a little belt and a worm drive. I had one or two of these, and I cut it off there, chucked that a bit away, and that sort of little sprocket's got a gap in, and I use that as a pulley. And but that, if you haven't got that sort of thing in your junk box, for £2.30p on eBay you can get a fantastic little thing from China, post-free. I'll give links at the end of the video. So let's turn my camera on here. Ta-da! I'll record what there is. And on the slide here I've attached a piece of cord, look, and a weight. I've used a fishing weight, but if you don't want to go to that huge expense, you can use a nut or a bolt. And all we do is we just wrap it a couple of times around the end there, and we've got a winch. We have a battery box here, I haven't made that up yet, but there's my power supply, and it'll track along. As I say, it'll track up vertically if you want. It's extremely powerful, and if I want to adjust any speed, just alter the diameter at that end. Well, you can see how well it works. It's absolutely superb. If you don't want it to do a juddery effect as it moves along here, then this needs to be absolutely perfectly clean and clear. When it gets to the end, by the way, there's not enough power because I've only done one turn for it to go down. There's a timeout on my camera, bloody nuisance that is. Anyway, you can see how simple it is. Couldn't be much simpler, could it? As I say, it'll go uphill. No problems. Okay, so that's the gist of it. let's turn this off. Come on, off. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's the slidey action. Now plastic on plastic is fine, and as I said, if you've got anything like silicone polish or anything that contains wax, you'll get a juddery action. If you want a silky smooth action, this has got to be pristine clean. So wash it in soapy water and just let it air dry. If you want to lubricate it at all, use a tiny dab of washing up liquid on the tracks and it'll be silky smooth. Okay? I haven't done that this morning. I'm still in the process of making things. Don't forget to put a stop on this end, because you can tilt it and this thread will shoot off the end, and if your camera's on it, you ain't going to be too pleased, I can tell you. So, what's the cost? A bit of plastic, 60p for a metre. I'll give you a link. A motor you can scrounge, or a deluxe model you can buy. I'll give you the link. That's it. I'm going to produce other things, but you can take this simple drive much, much further. If, like me, you do videos in a workshop or studio setting, you might not want to mess about with batteries, in which case the good old microwave oven comes into its own. Pinch the little motor that comes out that drives the turntable. They go round at about 5 RPM. And they run on the mains, of course. And the gearbox in them are fantastic. You won't stop that by hand, I tell you. The only downside is because they're synchronous motors, is at the instant you switch on, depending on whether it's a positive or a negative cycle at that instance, whether it goes clockwise or anti-clockwise. So you get a 50-50 chance. And then it dawned on me, it doesn't matter a bugger, does it? Not really. You just simply wind it on in the opposite directions at this end. So you could use one of those. And if you wanted to adjust different speeds, because these are pretty constant, you could just simply have a little step pulley with, different degrees of diameter. If you want to buy the deluxe one I'm on about, they come in 40 revs per minute, 100 revs per minute, 200 revs per minute, 400 revs per minute, and 600 revs per minute. And I've ordered loads because I can see lots of potential. Okay, let's move on. Okay, here's a close-up at the end of how I fixed the motor. As you can see, I just simply bolted it with one nut and bolt just here onto an end piece, which I'd used plastic glue of the same material. The line of the pull of the top of the pulley wants to be in line with the top of the sled. I'll give you a closer look at the sled. The sled and the ends are all made from the same material. It's a PVC profile C-section, and it's 45 by 20 by 2, and it's made by Gher. How do you pronounce it? G-E-H-R, I think it's German. But any sort of profile like that will do. And you'll need to drill a hole for your camera mount. And here I just used a small bolt. Yours will probably be more the middle. You want it roughly point of balance. And a small hole drilled this end for the cord to go. The actual cord itself I found out by experimenting, and over there I've got a net making, it's braided, a braided terylin of some description. You want something like that and not nylon fishing line, which will have stretch and give you sort of weird results. Anyway, you should have enough information to make your own should you wish to. Other accessories I hope to make is a boom camera, a long boom camera or camera jib, call it what you will, for over the hedge or fence views shots. I'm sure you know the sort of thing. And possibly a travelling camera on a cable, such as used for sports events, for following athletes along and this sort of thing. I shall be making some of those just as soon as these geared little motors turn up. I'm looking forward to that. They should be here this week. Okay, that's it for this time. Hope you found it interesting. Any suggestions for future camera ideas, photographic ideas? I'm no expert, but I'll give you my take if you're interested. Let us know. Come up with your ideas. Cheers for now, guys.